what it was like to have your sister go to prison. I just started finding joy.
We really are not born to be worshiped. We're really born to serve.
We seriously have a cat in the studio. It's going to be the death of me today. Well, welcome to the Living Louder podcast. I have my sister Kira today as a guest. Kira is my second sister. I'm the oldest of 7 kids. And our family, we're going to talk about our family today because our family, we didn't know how non-traditional our family was until we grew up, right?
Facts.
So we have some stories to tell. Just so you know, Kira is the nice one in our family. I was the mean one, for sure. And we'll talk more about that. I was the oldest. No, for real. I had the nickname Killer in our family. So I didn't have that nickname in prison. So that's good. But anyway, we're going to talk about my family. I've talked a lot about my time in prison. That's something that I've shared on social media. And I started this podcast to talk about the beauty on the other side of that. So today I want to introduce my sister. And we'll talk about kind of what it was like for you in our family, because you have a different experience than I did, but also what it was like to have your sister go to prison, because you were really supportive of me. I had people all the time when I was in prison. They're like, what does your family think of you being in prison? Are they so mad and angry? And I'm like, they think I'm a hero. I'm like, they're cheering me on. They believe in me. And I think that the way that our family supported me. Like I actually wrote my second book, Born to be Brave, because the day that I was sentenced, well, there's lots of reasons I wrote it, but the title was the day that I was sentenced and I walked out of the courtroom. Dad walked up to me and he said, "You'll be okay. You're the strong one. If it was one of my other kids, I'd be worried." He goes, "But not you, Portia. You'll be okay. You were born to be brave."
Wow.
And I think he was such a good example to me because he had been through so many hard things. So to go back a little bit, what I've shared before, Dad was a Vietnam vet. And we didn't know that as kids. He didn't talk about all the things he'd been through, but he'd actually been shot twice, had serious PTSD, and he was also raised by his stepfather and his mother. His biological father was an alcoholic. He didn't meet him until he was in his 20s. And then I got to meet him, and we met him before he passed away. But he was just kind of this power through kind of guy. And I was such a good example of hard work and support. And then Mom was this super hippie. She was so out there, didn't believe any rules or boundaries, so creative. She would write things and loved us. And she was one of the kids. I don't know if you remember this, but when the Karate Kid came out, Mom went to town and bought everyone karate uniforms, including herself. And then we started building dojos. I was like, maybe for the kids, but no, Mom was the leader of that. I remember kind of going, okay, wait a second, Mom, who's the adult, right?
Yeah, there was a little home karate school in Glenwood, which was about 10 minutes away.
Right.
Well, they didn't have very many
students. Yeah.
So once our family hit, it was all of our children, including Mom. She took lessons too.
Right.
The business went boom, and we were doing all kinds of horse stances and all kinds of stuff. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
So you were this creative kid, always dancing, always singing. We lived kind of out in the country, off the grid, really. Like Mom was so fashion forward because she didn't believe in immunization. She didn't use, the way she thought, everyone thought she was cuckoo, right? But now half the world thinks the way she thinks. I'm like, oh yeah, we've been doing that for years.
Absolutely. I mean, there's not a lot of kids that would have to go out and gather up dandelions, and they get paid to drink blended dandelions.
That happened. Yeah, I do remember.
Or we would get paid. We always got paid.
We always got paid, right?
To eat health food things. And my thing was the goats. I fell in love with the goats.
Really?
Now, Mom claimed none of us would have glasses or vision problems if we would
drink goat's milk.
Drink raw goat milk.
Right.
Well, it's funny because
she's right.
They both wore glasses. None of us 7 children. None of us have had to wear glasses.
But was it the goat's milk or was it the thinking? Because we just grew up thinking we wouldn't need glasses. And if we needed them, would she have gotten them for us?
Absolutely.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, no.
So,
we ate.
It's an interesting childhood.
Right.
I'll tell you this. I didn't know that your brothers and sisters were your friends.
Yeah.
So that to me was something, that's why I absolutely love my siblings.
Yeah.
I'm very dedicated to my siblings. They were my best friends. In fact, one girl would try to come over and hang out. I would go hide behind the door and say, tell her I am not home. Shannon Crawford.
Right.
Not home. Because I just enjoyed hanging out with my brothers and sisters.
Right.
It was a really good childhood from my perspective.
Yeah.
I'm very introverted. So, having the trampolines there, I could jump by myself for hours and just talk to myself.
Well, you liked structure, but mom didn't believe in structure.
That's right.
And so you created your own structure. You actually would set little alarm clocks and say, Kira, it's time to get up in the morning. When you were really young, you made your own rules and you would put little sticky notes everywhere telling yourself what you needed to do. You also hid like white bread and milk in your room because mom didn't feed us. I mean, we only ate really healthy food. So anything that came through the house, you took your share and hid it in your room.
When we went to town and we all got to pick out a treat. Of course, I picked white bread.
It was a treat because we didn't never have it.
It was a huge treat, right? White bread. And then sometimes we'd get pasteurized cow's milk.
Oh, yeah.
That was a real treat.
Right.
So
because we drank that warm goat's milk.
with hairs floating around in it. Yeah. But yeah, I would keep my little section of my room, maybe a little fourth of a corner, perfectly clean. And I didn't want people in my space. It was just my own area that I felt, like I could control.
Right.
It gave me an element of control in my life.
Right.
And I didn't care what the rest of y'all did out there in the jungle, but I liked my own little space. So,
I was really selfish because I was the oldest. So I always have my own room and then the other 5 kids shared a room. Like it was just.
Could be right.
Yeah, I could be right. Right. I always joke that I became a gang leader at a young age because I was the oldest and mom wasn't good at any rules. And I think that for me, even though it was like this charming childhood, it also was chaotic. And for me, I wanted boundaries. I almost got frustrated that we didn't have any. And I didn't know how to put any of that in place, but you figured it out. Like you created your own boundaries. I remember how old were you when you tried out for that? You were always trying out for different competitions.
Well, I learned how to dance. Let's start out by watching Flashdance. Now that is not
a kid-friendly show, but you watched it for hours.
Mom and Dad did a little edit thing they did with the videotape back then. So they would just cut out, the bad scenes. I didn't know it was a stripper show until I got older.
So you'd watch the Flashdance for hours.
Flashdance for hours. I had Dusty throwing water on me when I get back, and I made up all my own dances. And the beautiful thing about that is Mom would sit for hours on the couch
and watch you.
And watch you. That move is amazing. And I look back at video and it was kind of dorky the way I figured things out. There was a pole in the middle of the room because they turned, our living room.
They turned the garage into
a living room. So I'd spin around the pole for hours. I made all my moves on that pole. And Mom told me I was a great dancer. So in ways.
Well, you must have been because you did go try out for that competition and win on your own.
That's true. So I had Dad make like a little videotape. I think it was called Venus.
Yeah.
Venus. So, yeah. So I went to the county fair. I found out about the contest, asked Dad to make me a videotape. And I never wanted to put Mom and Dad out when I was younger. I really didn't. I could see that there was a lot
busy.
Going on. And so I didn't wait for them to do things. I just told them, just give me a ride here. I'll figure it out. I'm good. So I went to...
You were 8 years old, though. They dropped you off at the county fair.
Yep. And I went out and I did the dance and I lip synced and I danced across the stage. It was one of the first great moments in my life, really.
Everybody clapped and cheered. Your parents weren't there?
No, and it was the Gates family. They gave me a ride home after.
With your trophy.
My trophy, yeah. And I won $25. It was a big deal.
Right.
I wrote about it in my journal. And from then on, I kind of knew I could make anything happen. And I used those skills to try to live kind of like what would be considered kind of like a normal societal life, I guess.
I think it's so interesting because you had me as an older sister. I wasn't a great example.
No, but...
No, let's be honest. Yeah. No, I wasn't.
I didn't think that when I was younger, though. I really adored and loved you. Like, I'd watch you put on makeup. I'd try to sneak in your room and see what clothes you had. I mean, I really looked up to you. So...
Well, it's just unfortunate because I made so many mistakes. I struggled. My teenagers were really difficult. And looking back, I can see like the biggest struggle I had was just not knowing who I was. I needed that outside validation. And, one of the things I've thought about mom's amazing. And she never knew how amazing she was. And it's really driven me to figure out who I am, because you really can't give something to your kids you don't have. Like, she would look at us and say, you guys are so amazing. And I think she instilled some confidence in us. But if you don't know who you are, you're going to get eaten alive. And I did. Like, I got into relationships with older boys at such a young age and ended up pregnant by the time I was 17.
Yeah.
And then Misty followed me right down that path. And so then there's you that comes along. I dropped out of high school, ended up getting a GED. Misty did the same. Mm-hmm. Somehow you go try out for head cheerleader when mom and dad moved to a big school. And then not only do you graduate high school, and mom's trying to raise all of our kids too, and her kids, you figure out how to go to college, which I don't even think mom and dad knew you went.
Still to this day said, didn't you get a degree in college so much?
Yeah, she didn't know.
No, she didn't know.
Mm-hmm. You never wanted to put mom and dad out. So and they were always taking care of me and Misty and the kids. And it's the funny thing is, or interesting thing I should say, is that you have you below me and Misty, and then Donovan below Nick, and me and Misty and Nick were a lot more work for mom and dad. And somehow you and Donovan figured out how to do life really well. Maybe because you were off the grid and you just had to, because they were so caught up in dealing with our problems. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I don't know. I had to figure some things out when it came to men and things like that a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
we all did.
Yeah. I remember driving around in your 280ZX, going to several boys' houses.
Oh,
and
this is scary.
Boy,
it's a scary story.
Sitting in the car looking at you.
Such a great example.
You go to another house and you
kissed a different boy.
A different boy.
Oh, okay. Great. Thanks for bringing that back to my memory.
No, it was okay.
Yeah. Because, no, I am fully aware that relationships were a problem for me. I feel like I hit the jackpot when I married my husband. I did not know how I tricked him into that, but still, I needed some time to settle down. So
well, we all do. I mean, we're all figuring it out, you know. The thing about dad is he's totally dedicated to mom.
Yeah.
So when he married her, he completely loved and supported her. So even though you talk about some of her self-esteem issues,
we actually ended up marrying people who love us and support us. And I think that dad was an example of that.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah. Mom, I remember going to the bank once and she said, look at that rich person over there. Look how they're dressed. And I'm like, oh, they're just like me. I don't even see a difference.
Yeah.
They're just the same, you know.
But mom always did. Mom always felt less than.
Classy, and I'm not. I'm thinking, and it's funny because she didn't know how much people adored her.
Oh, it's so true.
These road shows in town, and everyone would come to me. Your mom's so talented. Can she hang out with me? No, she's afraid.
People still send me messages talking about mom. Mom is the most dynamic, charismatic, energetic, loving, amazing woman who has no idea how amazing she is.
That's right. And the most generous, giving to a fault.
Wackadoodle. Just saying.
Yep.
She would agree.
Our house was a playground.
Yeah, it was.
We drew on the walls.
Yeah.
The highest priority in our home was creativity, fun,
kindness,
self-expression.
Right. And self-expression. But it was also, mom would, any neighbor that was having a hard time, she would go buy them school clothes, or people knocked on our door and asked if they could play with Chris. Like 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds.
I went home once and she said, tell him to come back. I'll jump with him on the trampoline.
Like she was doing that even with her own 7 kids. People would stop by and just say, can I hang out with Chris today? And I'm like, Chris, you're talking about my mom? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's a really...
she's a unique person.
Very, very. And the traits I have from her.
Oh, you're the most like mom. I think I'm the most like dad. I'm going to have mom on the podcast, mom and dad. We'll see. But I got to talk Chad into it too. We'll get Matt here too.
I don't know. He's a behind the scenes kind of guy, I think.
So's Chad. But I think that you are the most like mom because you're kind and you're loving and you're very creative.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very creative.
I don't know if that's true that I'm creative.
You are. You're very creative. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
so childhood wise, we had this, I think, interesting, chaotic, creative, very off the grid upbringing. And we just didn't know that it was any different than everybody else's, right? Because what you see, you think everybody has. But then as we got older, my life got really hard. You know, I had my first child when I was 17 years old, my second child when I was 21, my third at 23 and placed him for adoption, became addicted to drugs. And it took a very low. And now at this point, you had left the house, which is smart because the house was total chaos. That little experiment that mom had with kids will raise themselves if you don't give them any rules went kind of wild in the teenage years. When she had all these boys in teenage years and then me, there were some times where, I mean, at this point, my parents had moved to Salt Lake out of the small town, and we were living in a really nice gated community. I remember one night, my boyfriend went around one turn and wrecked a car. Misty's boyfriend went around the other turn and wrecked a car. And Nick came back and took the cops on a high-speed chase. Like, we grew up in the country. We just figured, I guess that's what we're going to do, right? And the neighborhood's like, what is happening? And you took off. Good, smart girl. You left. You ran.
The summer I graduated high school.
You took off.
Here I come.
Right. Good for you. Yeah. And it took a little while. It took a little while for me to, and I've shared that in other stories, so we won't go into it, but it took a while for me to I had to hit a real low point. Mom and Dad were taking care of my kids and trying to take care of their kids.
Oh, how depressing.
I have so many regrets. Depressing. I really do. I have so many regrets that I was such a bad example to you guys, that I hurt Mom and Dad, obviously my kids, but I was able to take my kids, when I got sober and got out of the house, and Chad and I got married and start to build something new. But there was an aftermath to that for my brothers and sisters and my parents. We have a lot of energy in our family, so we don't do it a little bit. We go all in. And it was a little chaotic for a while. And I feel like I've been able to bring some restoration in some ways with my brothers and sisters, but still, that was a tough time. And I have a lot of sorrow over that. So I'm glad that you got the heck out of town.
Yes, I am too. I don't know. You say that. I talked to Dad a couple of days ago, and he was saying, I was trying to he was giving me some good advice, actually. And he said, my hardest child is Portia.
Yeah.
She was my hardest.
Facts.
And
yeah.
he goes, and now she's teaching me how to live.
Oh, that's really sweet.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
So I guess the hardest child has something deep inside them sometimes. And when it flourishes, magic can happen. And you are restoring all those things to Mom and Dad for what you've put them through. And I mean, we've had experiences when I visited you in prison where you apologized to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, for not being the best example. And that was really meaningful. And I actually didn't even need it, but
I needed to say it.
Yeah.
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 Well, John, is the cat going to be a problem? We'll edit this out. Just so you know, we're in Wilcox fashion, and my cat is running around the studio. We always had 32 cats. Mom any cat that needed food came to our house. So
yeah, we even had spider. I mean, we didn't kill anything. Spiders, mice, nothing.
Nothing was a lot
poisoned.
Mom was so compassionate that even when we had a flood at our house, she went around picking up ants out of the water and putting them on dry ground. She just couldn't let anything die.
We're all on the roof.
Yeah,
I think she put them all on the roof.
It was just bizarre. Of course, we were out floating around and all that.
On mattresses floating. Yep.
That was interesting. We'll have to do another video on that.
Honestly, I could never live the way now that I lived when I was younger.
Right.
So I look back with such fondness of those years.
Yeah. Well, we survived. So that's good. We jumped off roofs. We floated down rivers. We played hard. And then we moved to the city, and we kind of ran rampant for a while. And each of us kind of had to find our own way. Like for me, I remember I had to get out of Mom and Dad's house. Well, it was time. I was in my 20s and had two kids.
I had to register myself right in high school.
Did you really? You registered yourself out?
I had her go with me and sign some documents, but I definitely...
I can't believe you. I mean, to go from a small town with 80 kids in your graduating class to move to Salt Lake and go... I think Misty walked into school and turned around and walked out. It was too intimidating.
But I knew I had to do something to meet people. So I said, I can be a cheerleader. But how? There was hundreds of kids. I went to the tryouts. I'm like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I knew I could be the loudest.
Yeah.
I knew I could be the sharpest.
Yeah.
And I knew the girls were laughing at me.
And you didn't care.
But I didn't care. I came home for hours and practiced in that sliding glass mirror, just like I did with the flash dance for years. I knew that I had it inside me, that I could do it. So come tryouts, You
killed it.
I made it. Well,
didn't you do a Saturday Night Live skit or something?
I did. And it went well. But what was her name? Last name was Weaver. Anyway, she came to me and said, I don't know that you got all the popular vote. And I said, I don't think I got any popular vote.
They don't even know me.
But the judges, I think that's how you made it.
Yeah.
I remember standing in the bathroom stall waiting to hear the results.
Wow.
And it was, I just knew I had it inside me that I could make it happen. And to be honest with you, Mom kind of gave me that because
I was going to say
growing up.
That came from Mom. Absolutely. Knowing I have that same thing inside me, and Mom gave it to us. You can do anything. You can do anything you want to do. She gave that to us. Yeah.
I knew, and I don't expect other people to step in and help me.
Yeah.
I don't need that. It's great when it happens, but I know I can do it on my own.
Yeah.
It's a very, that's been powerful in my life. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And then we have a father who's so logical that he'll take the time to figure things out. And he knows how to reason. So that's helpful. So that you're not all over the place. So
yeah,
I think we had a great childhood. I know it was rough for you.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I made it rough for everybody else.
Might be true.
Yeah, I did. But I think that the thing that mom and dad taught me was that I do not have to walk the same course that anybody else does. I get to decide what my experiences mean to me. So I get to prison and I think, oh my gosh, the world says if you go to prison, you're a really bad person. No way am I buying into that. And the second one was, oh my gosh, if I'm in prison, everybody acts foolish and crazy. Well, I don't have to do that either, Wow. So I think that mom and dad gave me that insight to decide what my experiences mean to me. And I will always be grateful for that.
You just said one of the most powerful things I've ever heard you say.
Yeah,
anyone can apply that to their life. That is huge. And to be honest, you're a huge example to me.
Oh, thank you.
Way. Yeah. Because I do like to follow society's rules.
Oh, you do, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I do. But I also recognize that when I'm not, I get a little nervous when I'm going against the grain. Mm-hmm. But no, that's really, really powerful because, life, and sometimes through no fault of our own, maybe that's not your situation, but for a lot of others, it is. Yeah. They get put in a situation where they think now they're defined a certain way. Yeah. And what you just said there is mastery. That's beautiful.
Wow.
To understand that you get to decide how your experiences are going to shape you.
Right.
That's amazing.
Well, it did take 5 years to get to.
I'm not saying
I get people all the time. Well, I got this comment recently on social media, and the guy said, I'm 67. My life is pretty unhappy. I'm thinking of committing a crime just to go be in prison. I said, there's got to be a better way, friend. There's got to be a better way. But there is some things that happen in prison that are good. It's really hard. It's like any experience that you have, you get to decide what it means.
No, I would have watched TV for that many years. I would have sat and watched.
No, you would not have. Oh, no. Absolutely not. You would not have. You would have dug deep. No. You would have read and studied and served and become the best version of yourself. I already know. Nobody in our family would not have done that because of our parents.
Okay.
Yeah, it's what we all would have done. Maybe. So, except mom. Mom would have just drooped because she's such a people pleaser. And you're kind of a people pleaser too. So you have to get over that.
Reformed.
Yeah, you're reformed. So let's jump forward. I had a few years that were okay, but I still feel like I was always trying to prove myself. Like I needed to have success, right? I started a photography business and that grew. What I've learned about myself is I'm a hard worker. So I'm willing to hustle, and things grow when I put my energy behind them. And I think, after Chad and I got married and I started this photography business, things were going pretty good, but I didn't have balance in my life. I was working very hard. Mm-hmm. And what has really plagued me is my addiction. It is, for me, what I know about myself is I would rather die now than take a pain pill. Like it scares me because of how far I've just suffered enough. And so when I relapsed and I got involved in those real estate deals, I'm sure from a distance you were watching me just going, stop. What are you doing? I mean, I'm curious. You've never told me.
Yeah. Actually, no.
Really?
No, I always believed in you. I really did. So I didn't know anything about real estate. My life was so far away from that. So I didn't really understand what was going on. I don't think my husband wanted to get involved in any deals.
Facts. Oh, smart guy.
He said the only way to make money is WORK, work. I'm like, oh, okay. Well,
hard work.
You.
Yeah.
So, but no, I mean, I could see that you were spinning a little bit and things weren't going well. But I was busy. I had a couple kids.
Yeah.
I was building a life, and I lived a distance away, so I didn't see you a lot.
Yeah.
But when things started going
really south,
right, and you maybe started getting kind of I don't know, like the energy that you're putting out was like, I can handle this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen.
Right.
These people are against me.
Right.
And so after a while, you think maybe it's her.
Yeah. Do you think she's the common denominator?
This problem.
When I look back at that time in my life, I look at myself and I say, how sad that I was like I had put myself in this box of being a victim and felt like everybody was coming for me. Wow. And it just seems like the worst place to be, Yeah. Why would I do that? But I guess the truth was really scary. The truth was that I had made these mistakes and that I could likely go to prison. And that just seemed like such a scary
place. You had already gotten away with a lot of things your whole life.
Yeah, that's true.
So your mom and dad didn't call you out on just little things.
Yeah.
We were emboldened, I'm sure.
That's true.
It always felt like for you, the way out of it was to just overcome it. You're going to do it.
Yeah.
Never to come down to the ground and try to make amends.
Right. It's so true. I kept thinking, I'll just do the next thing. I'll do the next thing. I think when I first started hearing I was under federal investigation with the feds, and I thought, I'll just power my way through it. I'll just keep going. I mean, that's how I had done everything.
To be honest, I thought you could.
You thought I would too.
Because I grew up with you.
Yeah.
So I knew that I also saw your strength. I think all of our siblings did. As difficult as you could make life, you always could. You were, I don't know, you just could always make things happen.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be okay. I was very afraid when I knew that your future was imminent, that you were going to spend some time in prison. I was very afraid.
Yeah.
Because I love you.
Oh.
It really made me sad.
Yeah.
It was really hard for me.
Yeah.
So
maybe some of our brothers and sisters thought she's getting what she deserves.
To their own opinion.
I'm okay with that. Finally, finally, this girl's going to have to pay the price.
I'm growing up.
I know, it's so, right. Finally. And I also got a nice bunk in prison. So my skills of getting the good bunk worked in my favor. I think that I thought that I could power my way through. And what I learned, and it took me a couple of years in prison, that I was only up against my own weaknesses. The federal government's a great big wall. They go nowhere, right? You're not fighting anybody. You're fighting the impossible foe. And so I'm like, what was I thinking?
It took the federal government for you. It did.
It did.
For me, it's 2 speeding tickets and my license is going to get suspended. For everyone, there's that different wall.
Yeah, for me, it was a federal indictment. Oh, yeah. I don't even think I was that afraid when they came for me, but when they came for my family, then I was like, oh, okay, it's time. I don't know. It honestly, even still, it took a full-on mental breakdown to get to where I'd plead guilty. I'm stubborn, and I think that that's my strength and my weakness. But
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think it's your strength and your weakness.
Yeah.
So now here you are teaching all of us.
I don't know about that, but I know that I was really grateful because when I was in prison, you wrote me and I always felt like you loved me. You'd send me pictures and I felt like you really cared. Not that our whole family didn't. Like the way our family is, we're just like, you got this. You can handle it. Go ahead, Portia, go to prison and get...
Yeah, and it's not necessarily someone doesn't like you if they don't write you a letter.
Oh,
5 years. It really doesn't mean that.
No.
Our family's different. Like we're a little bit less sentimental when it comes to making sure we have that party or that.
Right.
Person.
I always knew my family loved me. I never questioned that. I always believed that. I knew that. That was why I said when people said, well, is your family mad at you? I'm like, no, I'm their hero. They're looking at me like, what are you talking about? But it's different because you do that with everyone in our family. Like you do. Yeah. With Nick, with everyone. You're the one that sends the cards, the birthday cards. You're the one that I think when I went to prison, you actually went to a support group or something.
Yeah. I was having a hard time. I was having a really hard time. And so I went to like an anonymous group and the guy there was like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I'm like, no, I won't. He's like, I've been through this. I know. Mm-hmm. And he said, first of all, she needs to apologize for what she's done to your family. And I said, her apologize? Look at what she's going through. She doesn't need to apologize.
I needed to apologize.
He said, no, it's going to be very important. Give it time. It's going to be important for her to apologize. It's the first time I ever thought that maybe
I was responsible. Instead of Portia's a victim, Portia actually hurt us. No, that was where all the power was for me. And so you should always allow people to apologize when they need to. For me, that was really painful, but also taking ownership of the way I hurt my family. And it's a process. You can't do it all in one day, but there were times where I would think about things and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe, I started writing letters and reaching out. And
what's beautiful to me is I noticed in your letters from the beginning, how you started transforming. Pretty soon, all the end was about nature, the sunshine. I'm like, wow.
You're like, I need to go to prison.
Yeah, she's really like vibing with her natural surroundings and understanding of stillness.
Yeah.
And all of those types of things are so important. I would talk about the sun coming up over the mountain when I'm sitting on the porch at my house.
Right.
And then, and how that made me feel. And I would think about you because I knew that you were also
sitting there with the sun coming my way. Yeah.
Just feeling that energy. And so I watched how you transformed, and it really it calmed me down a lot. And I was grateful. You started kind of, I'd write about the kids, or I'd write about your kids. Yeah. And I got to spend time with them and watch that journey. Yeah. And I don't know. I'm so proud of you for how you handled things.
Thank you.
I know it took a while.
It took a while. I feel like my kids have even said the best thing that happened to us was when you started taking ownership.
Really?
Yeah. Shelby said that when the first little while was hard because I was suffering.
You gave them permission to.
I gave them permission to be free of it. And also I basically, I just started finding joy. I started looking for ways to serve. And the last half of my sentence was like, there's times that I miss it. I want to go back for 30 days. I need the break. I want to go sit in the sun. I want to read books. My life is busy out here. I was actually at a halfway house last night, and there was a girl in the corner. I was sharing my story with them, and there was this girl covered in tattoos, her face, really pretty girl. And she's young, she's in her 20s. Like, imagine what you've been through and what you think of yourself to make a decision so serious as to tattoo your face at that young age. And she's a pretty girl. And she wasn't about to try to open up to me. But every time I looked and I'm speaking, she would look away. And then when I looked at her, I could see she was looking at me, right? She's looking at me. And I love her so much. I was praying for her last night and this morning. I just feel very connected because I know I met these girls that had suffered in ways I couldn't comprehend. That's what Mom gave me. Yes. Mom gave me that compassion and that heart where I can love people so deeply. I'm so grateful for that,
Everyone in our family has it.
Yeah.
Misty's told me, I sit outside 7-Eleven, wait for this guy just so I can throw money at him every time. And I remember when
That's Mom.
I had struggled because I was subbing this last year, and a few of the kids, I just knew, I knew when they were having a hard time, and I could walk right over to them, look at them right in the eyes and tell them how amazing they were.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal. We really are not born to be worshiped. We're really born to serve.
Yeah.
That's really where we light up as human beings. And Mom, although her service sometimes is a bit too much, she might not have the boundaries, and she might not have all the fluff and all that stuff figured out, but her intention and her heart is there.
Yeah.
So we are so lucky to have her. And she, you may not know it, but she's a big driving force as to why you made it out of your situation and turn it around.
Oh, I do. I do know that.
I mean, Dad believed in you.
Dad gave me strength. Mm-hmm. I got Dad's strength. I'll take that all day long. But Mom gave me love, I mean, Dad loved us.
Another human being to be able to see kind of into their souls. She has
that. She gave it to us. So yeah, super grateful. Mm-hmm. Our child, now you're going to have to come back because we have so much more to talk about. We haven't really talked about our other brothers and sisters, and I'm going to try to have them on the show, but also we'll talk about Nick at some point. I don't know when. He is the bright shining star in our family. One of them, there's
best hug I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. We have amazing brothers and sisters. We really do, and amazing parents. Anyone that is interested can read the second book I wrote, Born to be Brave. It is about our family and some other things. And who knew that I would write books? Do you remember when I called you?
I don't know. Yeah, I do. And I remember when I read the line in the second book, it said, Nick's life was like a river. It went where it had to go.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that just lightning in my heart, because that's all of us.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, we are always trying to control, especially I look at my children, trying to control them and this and that, but it's their journey, and it was his journey, and there's things that had to happen for him.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yeah. And it's hard because a lot of times it's the pain that purifies you, that prepares you for the beauty. Mm-hmm. And when I work with people now with mental health, and I say, you're just in the middle, man. Mm-hmm. Like, your story, looking at those girls last night, I'm like, every one of you have these incredible stories, and the world needs you. They need to hear your story. And I think again, that was a mom thing. I always felt like my story mattered. Like I had.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Each one of us felt pretty special, like we had something to offer the world. And I don't know.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, the producer is John, our cousin, who Corey's family is the most amazing. Like what Corey did for us is every single one of us, he gave us jobs. And he always treated us like we were the best photographers.
Absolutely.
Right? Oh.
I was taking pictures of people that were my age. Okay. I would go do dances and I was in high school. I would take pictures.
Oh, yeah. But no, and he was always thought we were the most creative. Still, when I go see Denise, oh, your family's so amazing. Yeah. And I look at Corey's family and just think, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I have somehow I'm connected to your family.
We need the goodness really bad in our family. So
right.
But appreciate that.
We grew up as photographers. That's the thing. Our mom was a photographer, our grandpa, our uncles, everyone in our family was photographers. Mm-hmm. And then as I got older, it was like people were saying that they wanted, I want to become a photographer. And I was like, well, it's just like being a farmer. If you grew up as a farmer, you'd be a farmer. It wasn't like this really exciting career. It's actually taking school pictures all day long. 500 kids lined up. It wasn't glamorous, but it was hard work and just part of our heritage. It's just kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so, but I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to take people's wedding pictures. I did that for years. And there were too many times that I was too stressed out and I just don't want to.
A new chapter of your life.
I am. Yeah.
And the interesting thing is you can't really pinpoint where it's going because you're not going to commit to any certain path. I know that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting that you seem to be very wary of what your weaknesses are. Well,
that's a good thing, right?
And very on top of it. That's an example to me. I love that.
I don't know. I had somebody ask me the other day, he said, I'm struggling with family. It's like, what can I do to this brother that's really hurt me? How do I make things, how do I get through it? Mm-hmm. And I said, the most important skill that I've learned, and I'll still say this, and I actually had to do it last night because I was struggling with something. I decide what I want my ending to look like, and I line up my thoughts. And even when my emotions tell me something completely different, I say, that's not the ending I planned. Sorry.
I love that.
It's not the ending. This is not going along with the ending. Get out the way. I already know I love my husband. I love my children. I know what the plan is with my brothers and sisters. And so if anything gets in the middle, I say, yeah, but that's not the ending I want.
So we're just going to go right over top of that and let that
We have to allow the feelings to come and go.
We're not going to act on it.
But I'm not. I already know what the ending is. And that's tricky because there's going to be a lot of stuff in the middle, right? Like there's going to be things that come up that challenge you that you're like, okay, wait, the husband did this, or the kid did that, or whatever. But I'm like, the ending is more important. Look, I was in prison and I'm thinking, how do I survive this? How do I come back from this? I pretty much crashed and burned. I was on the 10 o'clock news. I am a complete and total failure. I've left my husband financially devastated. He's standing by me for some crazy reason. I don't know if I just took him to the depths and he couldn't climb out on his own or what, but we're going to get through this. The one thing I have left is an amazing ending. I have to have an amazing ending.
Wow.
That's what I have to have. And so I fought my way through it so that I would have something, because the amazing ending gets to write the story, right? The person that has the amazing ending gets to tell the story. So
the beginning is nothing.
Yeah.
Those are just stories. The ending is amazing.
You have to have a good ending. And I used to tell people that in prison, I'm like, you guys all have amazing stories. You have to have an amazing ending. That's what we're all fighting for. And so that has been the most important skill for me. Dealing with Nick, dealing with mom and dad, dealing with my siblings, dealing with my husband and my kids. The ending. Because I came home and I had a 17-year-old daughter that said, I don't like you. I don't want to talk to you. You didn't raise me. You're not my mom. And she had every right to feel that way, right? And I went, under my breath, I love you, Sadie. I love you, Sadie. This isn't the ending. We're going to work through this because the ending is going to be great. We're going to have an amazing ending.
I love that.
It's hard to do.
Consistently, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You consistently showed up for your kids. I remember when you came home, you said, I want to buy Sadie a bunch of stuff, but I can't do it.
Can't do it.
It's a wrong choice. I'm just going to sit with her and I'm going to be there and I'm going to always be consistently there when she wants me.
Right.
When she wants to spend time with me. But I can't
do what I did before and just go, buy your stuff, because that's what I did before.
So was it hard for you to come out of prison with some skills that you had honed in on, and then you're out in the world having to actually no more rehearsals?
It was really hard. I did certain things. I kept eating almonds and apples and wearing the same clothes, trying to stay the same because I was scared. I was scared.
I tried to buy you makeup.
And I was like, no.
Coconut oil, leave me alone.
I didn't want to lose myself. I still struggle with it. I don't want to lose myself in the world because I was so lost. I mean, the world is what took me to prison, worrying more about money and things and all of those things. And the thing that was hard when I came home, especially with Sadie, and she's the one that I think hurt the most. She was a 12-year-old girl. Imagine a 12-year-old girl having your mom on the news, going to prison and feeling so alone. Like she really went through it.
I know her. She's one of your most compassionate kids.
She's amazing. Yeah. But it doesn't mean it didn't hurt her so deeply. No. And when I came home, she said, I liked you better before, which was really hard. That was hard for me. And I looked at her and I said, someday you'll understand the courage it took for me to become the woman I am now. You'll understand that.
That's hard.
Yeah. But it was hard because she said, I know you talk about yourself that you were such a mess, but you were my mom. Those are memories I had that I like. Why do you keep trying? And I've had to change that a little bit. I've had to process it and say, okay, I'm not the worst person before.
Good.
Like, because it's not fair to my kids they have memories.
They were the worst years of my life.
Because they were their childhood. That was their childhood. So they have to hear, I made those mistakes, but I still loved you. I still did the best that I could. And I'm different now. Like money isn't the most important thing to me now. And I worked hard to get to that place. So.
Wow.
Yeah. The things, right? Uh-huh. Hold on to the amazing ending, man. That's how you get through the hard stuff. We're still doing it with mom and dad and with all of us. You're in the thick of that too, in your own life.
I've got 4 kids. I have things I worry about for obviously my closest situation is just we're always making sure that I see that my kids are finding their way.
Right.
And one thing that actually you've helped me with is, as we've talked and shared things, is just focus on yourself. Just keep getting yourself in order. There's always a way that you can build yourself.
Yeah.
And that's, our kids really want us to be okay more than they want to be okay.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the greatest thing we can offer them is that I'm okay. I'm stable. I feel good. I'm doing well. And
that's what they need more than anything else.
Absolutely.
Girls in prison all the time. I want to do this for my kids. I'm like, get yourself healthy. Your kids need to know that you're okay. It's the most important thing.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Like they say in treatment, parents send their kids off to treatment. And it's like, well, send the parents off to treatment. Don't even worry about the kids.
That's so true. I do it all the time because I work in treatment. So I have kiddos that are struggling. And the parents are overwhelmed. It's understandable. So they drop them off and say, fix the kid. And I'm like, now go fix yourself and I'll fix the kid. Okay.
Yes.
I actually work with the coolest kids though. They're just amazing. Most of them have been in and out of foster care. They've had the hardest lives and they are brave and they're amazing. The cat's now creating shadows on them. I love the cat. Oh, well. But yeah, I have the coolest kids and I get to do the coolest things. Who knew?
For you to not get belligerent about their situation like the parents are, you're very calming and you see that there's a way out.
Yeah,
just
I have faith in them.
Alone. Yes, you do.
If I can do it, anyone can, right?
I guess you have that.
Yeah, there's that.
So you have an honest testimony to change.
Right. I believe in my own kids. I believe in your kids. I believe in mom and dad, all of us, that we're going to figure it out, and it's what we're born to do.
So people in your circle are lucky to get to hear that over and over again.
Yeah. Well, I think too that I married the most amazing man on the planet who loves me.
From you.
Very different than from me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he really loves me. And I knew Chad is calm. And yesterday, Dad, I was talking to Dad.
Those rules.
Yeah, he likes rules. Crazy. Who would have thought? His dad and I couldn't be more different. But his dad was really so strong and such a good strength to our family. But I was talking to Dad yesterday and he goes, I just want you to know that I bought Chad a really nice cutting board. Such a dad thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He said, I was looking on YouTube. Teak is the best kind to have as a cutting board. And I said to Tyson, my dad bought you a cutting board. And he said, of course he did. I'm so excited.
Well,
it's just perfect for him.
The only gift that Mom ever gave Matt was a squirt gun that you put salt water in so you wouldn't kill the fly if you squirted it. Knock it out for a minute because it had salt water in it. Matt loved that. He walked around the house and squirt flies.
But she wouldn't buy any.
They get back up and doesn't kill him. I'm like,
of course not.
I'm going to give him poison. Salt, natural. It just knocks him out for a minute.
It sounds like a mom thing.
An interesting gift to give your son-in-law.
Oh, you have to meet Mom and Dad. They're so something.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about when I wrote you a letter. And Mom said to me, hey, Kira, I came home and there was a bunch of trash on my porch.
Uh-huh.
She said, hey, Kira, I left some stuff on your porch. I saw it. What is going on? And she goes, do some things I thought we could use as prizes for the next Wilcox party.
Oh my gosh, I remember this.
It's a kid's
wheelchair.
For a child. This thing looked like it came straight out of the horror movie. And when my son
And that was
in his horror movie. And then she also brought pajamas that were, from DI. Into
thrift store.
Pajamas.
And that was for the Christmas party gift. You know what I have to do? I have got to include Mom's potato bug skid that we have from the last Christmas party. I still have that video. And Dad's front handspring, I swear, because they were both in their 70s when they were doing it. Mom, I've shown people that and she's jumping around the room. And I'm going to make her come on the show and do the potato bug. You wouldn't know until you see it. You just have to see it. So,
it's very true.
Wow.
Yeah. Very, very lucky. We had a very good childhood.
We did.
Lots of good stories. And
yeah, I'll have to bring Donovan on. His stories are different. We have the different personalities in our family. Remember, the stories different. Right?
That's right.
Yep. Choose your ending. That was my idea. I'm like, I'm going to choose the good part. I'm going to remember the good stuff. So
yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming down today. I wanted to have you as the first guest because you're like my coolest, the person I know. So
thank you. What can I say?
And
I don't know.
People are going to love you, and then you're going to have to start a podcast too. That's how it's going to be.
I'm a shy girl.
No, you're not.
I am. Absolutely. I'm an introvert.
Whatever. The girl that tried out for head cheerleader, and
I don't know. I could hide behind my wall.
Yeah.
You can dance and hide behind your wall. You can do it. I don't know. I like people, but I do need that alone time.
Yeah.
And
you wouldn't like prison for that.
No.
It really sucks to get. You can't ever get the alone time. You really have
Visiting you is plenty.
Yeah. That one time. The boundaries, the thing is, you learn to set really good boundaries. Like when someone's talking to you and you don't want to talk anymore, you say, okay, I'm done talking now, and you walk away. You don't learn that stuff out here because you can't get away from people. I mean, and it's not rude or anything. You're just like, I'm tired of talking to you now.
I love it.
It's boundaries all the way around. Or somebody comes up and says, hey, Louder, do you have this, pack of meat that I can buy from you? Yes, but I don't want to sell it to you.
That's one thing I actually learned from you. You come home and we would talk and I would ask for advice on things. Is this sincerity? How important it is to be sincere and how much other people appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's very, very important to be clear with people. And I'm learning that from you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think if people feel loved.
The older sister.
I've become.
You always wanted to be.
There we go. The amazing ending.
You became, I think I even said to you, probably only one other time I was talking on the phone. I said, thank you for being such a great older sister. And he's,
I'm not a gold.
I mean, I'm sure.
I never felt like I was a good older sister.
Because, we have Misty, who was an amazing sister.
But who didn't like me. She was the nice one.
Nice one. So
we're going to have her come on. Mm-hmm. She's very entertaining. She has such a good sense of humor.
She's very theatrical.
She is. And we're so different. Like I'm the oldest, then Misty, then you. Mm-hmm. And everyone liked Misty because she's nice. And I was mean. So nobody liked me. It's okay. I just found boys.
Liked you.
Yeah, that's what it was. So, okay. Well, we'll wrap it up. That's our first podcast, Kira and I, and we'll probably do another one.
That's right. Let's get back together soon.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Thanks, Kira.